الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين ومن تبعهم بإحسان ودعا بدعوتهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كلامه المجيد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واعلموا أنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة وأن الله عنده أجر عظيم. صدق الله العظيم. So the purpose of these few videos is to equip the parents with understanding of our responsibility. So in turn we can nurture a pious generation of Muslims in these difficult times ahead. So I will go through, inshallah, in short sessions, the responsibility of the parents and the rights of the children. So this is an extremely important topic that everyone who is a parent needs to be aware of. So we understand, so coming back to the basics. So we understand that Islam has given the parents rights. We all understand that. And we constantly remind our children of this as well. That, we are your parents, you have to listen to us, you have to obey us. And we know that, the children have to obey the parents. We know that the children have to listen to the parents. Children have to please the parents. And we all know the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Jannatu tahta aqdami al-ummahat, that paradise lies underneath the feet of the mother. We've probably many times we've reminded our children regarding this hadith, that haven't you heard the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that you have to listen to us, that Jannah lies underneath the feet of the parents? Or the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the pleasure of Allah lies in the pleasure of the father, and the anger of Allah lies in the anger of the father. So this is what we will understand and commonly know, that the parents have rights over the children. But on the other hand, what are the rights of the child which the parents must fulfill? What rights do the children have over the parents? Or is it completely one-sided, that the children must fulfill the rights of the parents, but the parents have no rights towards the children? Is it completely one-sided? So first of all, let's go back to the Quran. In order to understand anything, we as Muslims, we need to go back to the Quran and the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and not to our own understanding or to our own logic. So firstly, Allah says in the Quran, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالَكُمْ وَأَوْلَادَكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. So Allah says in the Quran, Surah Al-Anfal, and know that your possessions and your children are but a trial. So Allah is telling us that all our possessions and our children are a test from Allah. And surely with Allah is the mighty reward. So Allah is telling us here, and Allah is giving the parents a responsibility, that do we raise our children the way we want, or according to our standards, or do we raise our children according to the standards that Allah and His Messenger ﷺ has set for us? So I'll give you an incident, which is a famous incident of Omar radiallahu anhu. So a man once came to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, the second Caliph of Islam, complaining of his son's disobedience to him. So Umar radiallahu anhu is a Caliph of the time, and people would come to him with their problems, and Umar radiallahu anhu would try and solve their problems. So a man came to the Prophet Umar radiallahu anhu, complaining of his son's disobedience, that, "Oh Umar, my son is disobedient to me and he doesn't listen to me," etc., etc. So Umar radiallahu anhu immediately summoned the boy and spoke of his disobedience to his father, and his neglect of his rights. So Umar radiallahu anhu called the boy and asked him about him disobeying his father and why he isn't fulfilling his father's rights. So the boy replied, "Oh, Amirul Mu'mineen," Amirul Mu'mineen means the leader of the believers, "hasn't a child rights over his father? Does not a child have rights that his father must fulfill?" "Certainly," replied Umar. So Umar radiallahu anhu just gave a brief statement. He said, Umar, "What are they, O Amirul Mu'mineen?" the boy asked. So Umar radiallahu anhu replied that he should, number one, he should choose his mother, i.e. choose a good mother, a righteous, pious mother, to nurture his children, give him a good name, and teach him from the Quran. So then the boy said, "O Amirul Mu'mineen, my father did not do anything of this." So he says, number one, firstly, my mother was a Megan fire worshipper. And secondly, he gave me the name Ju'lan, which means a dung beetle or a scarab. And he did not teach me a single letter of the Quran. Okay, now this is very important. We'll go into the rights of the child, what exactly the rights of the children are at a later stage. But the purpose of this is to understand that the children also have rights over us. And we as parents need to fulfill the rights of our children. So then Umar radiallahu anhu, so the narrator says, فَالْتَفَتَ عُمَرْ إِلَى الرَّجُلِ وَقَالَ لَهُ. So after hearing this, Umar radiallahu anhu immediately turned to the man, to the father. وَقَالَ لَهُ, and he said to him, جِئْتَ إِلَيَّ تَشْكُو عُقُوقَ إِبْنِكَ. And this is a statement that all parents, all of us need to remember and understand as well. Understand and remember. So Umar radiallahu anhu said to him, that you have come to me complaining of the disobedience of your son. قَدْ عَقَقْتَهُ قَبْلَ أَن يَعُقَّ. Umar radiallahu anhu says, you disobeyed him before he disobeyed you. This is very important. Umar radiallahu anhu is saying that you disobeyed him before he disobeyed you. وَأَسَأْتَ إِلَيْهِ قَبْلَ أَن يُسِيءَ إِلَيْكَ. And you wronged him before he even wronged you. So Umar radiallahu anhu said the child is not at fault. This is understandable from the child because this has resulted in your disobedience to the child. So many times we complain and wonder in astonishment that why our children are so disobedient to us. And one of the reasons may be, I'm not saying every case, but one of the reasons may be because we have been firstly disobedient to them. And one of my teachers, once I remember, one of my teachers, he was telling us regarding the phone call that he received from someone. So the person was complaining that his children, so the person was saying on the phone to my teacher that, his children are disobedient to him. And he is also saying within that phone call that he knows the reasons why his children are disobedient. So he was telling the teacher that all my life I've been filling my children's stomachs with interest money, i.e. the disobedience of Allah, i.e. his job that he had must have been, that takes interest or whatever, or he gives interest or takes interest. And with that money, which is haram money, he was buying food, clothing and everything for his children. So he was saying that I can see the effects of this interest money and this disobedience of Allah within them now. And due to this, they don't listen to me. But he was saying, what can you do now? All these years you've been feeding them with haram, so isn't it too late now? So, disobedience of Allah has a natural consequence. And it affects us as well. Just like this person has realized that he was disobedient to his children, and that's as a consequence now his children are disobedient to him. So now moving on, now we realize that as parents we need to fulfill certain rights of our children. Now what are these rights? In order to fulfill our responsibility, we must first learn what our responsibility is, because we can't fulfill a responsibility if we do not know what the responsibilities are. And if we've never studied the responsibility of the parents and the rights of the child, so two things, the responsibility of the parents and the rights of the child, if we've not studied this topic or subject, 99.9% chance we will be doing something wrong. We are falling short somewhere, regardless of how good we may be as parents or how good we think we may be as parents. So now the first question is to the parents. How many of us as parents have studied the topic and the subject of the responsibility of the parents and the rights of the children? So generally 99.9% of us will fall short of this question, that we have not studied this, this task of parent. And every job in the world needs training and a level of education. So I'm wondering, is parenting the only job in the world that does not require any of these? Does not require any training, does not require any formal education, despite the fact that raising righteous children is an extremely difficult task and extremely important task as well. So just before we finish, this scholar here was explaining that, so he's talking regarding another scholar, that a person came to this scholar, such and such scholar, and they asked him that, oh Maulana, can you please make dua for my child, that Allah makes him pious. They must have had a baby or something. So, this is understandable. It's a very good dua to make, isn't it? When you go to a pious person, you ask them, please make dua for my child or my children, that Allah makes them pious. So this is a good thing. But this Maulana, he responded in a different way. This Maulana, he responded by saying, although this is a good request, but firstly I make dua that Allah makes you good parents. SubhanAllah. Firstly, I make dua that Allah makes you good parents. Because, okay, imagine a factory. If a factory is good and is functioning properly, the product that comes out of the factory, the end product, will also be good and will be functioning properly. But if the factory is bad, broken or corrupt, then the end product will also be bad. This is how the parents are. If we as parents do our job properly, we have the right self-rectification, that we are rectified, we are good role models, and we also understand the rights and responsibilities of the parents and the rights of the children, then the end product that we come out, if we implement all this properly, the end product will, inshallah, will also be good as well. But if we haven't fulfilled these responsibilities, neither are we rectified ourselves, and neither are we good role models to our children, then the end product that also comes out from this factory will also be bad as well. So inshallah, the next session will go through the primary objective of the parents, inshallah, then we'll continue on through our journey. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to study and learn this responsibility, and inshallah make us good parents and make our children means of our success in this world and the hereafter. Amin wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.